everybody, I am back. I've been having a little bit of a issue lately. No, not my tooth. We're still waiting for that, but I've been feeling kind of down in the dumps. And today, I finally realized why. I'm missing my parents. I never really felt grief when they first passed. I was just happy for where they were going, that they would have so much better. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the holidays, and some of the grandkids have been asking, are we still going to do holidays, like with the big family thing? And until here a few minutes ago, it was an I don't know. But my sister called, and they're kind of putting something together for the 3rd, which is just a couple weeks, but it's just going to be soup, sandwiches, real easy. So that explains that. But yeah, it's just that season, I think. And I just want to let you know, if I'm a little absent-minded or a little absent here and there, I've been kind of missing Mom and Dad here lately. So I guess I'm getting to that point where I'm feeling a little sorry for myself, which is normal. After losing a loved one, it's normal. So, but I'm still happy that they are walking with the Lord in heaven and at peace. We're going to finish off Jericho tonight. And then I think I'm going to take a break from these for a while and do some, I've got some art stuff to finish up for Christmas, just a few on those ornaments. And I'd like to maybe paint a couple more flowers. I'm thinking about possibly putting together a collage of those flowers in a poster type thing. I have to figure out how to do it first, but I don't know if I just have to put them on a background and take a picture or what, because then I would want to take them up to a printer and have them printed off. And so there's cost and supply and all that. So anyway, but my books are always available. Look in the description, you'll find out where. That I'll be painting over, but at least it's there for me to figure it's there. Okay. Somebody asked a question, and these gates would be solid. But somebody asked a question of why do they gate, and why do they have these? Well, it was protection. There were a lot of people trying to get that land, and so even Jerusalem was a walled city for a long time. I don't know for sure, but I think maybe the Wailing Wall is still a part of that. If you ever heard the expression, eye of a needle, it's easier to get harder to get a rich man into heaven than it is to get a camel through the eye of a needle. That does not mean, it's not to say that a rich man cannot make it into heaven. That's not it at all. But what it was describing was the significance of the eye of a needle. So, okay, there's my crooked. I was putting that kind of like that to get distance, but I don't know that it worked. I haven't painted it yet, though, have I? Okay, here is where Rahab is, right in about here, because she had a window that let the spies out this way. So just to remind you. Yes, I'm recording. Sometimes I'm not sure. Okay. So this is Jericho. They walled a lot of cities. The expression, now not all gates were closed gates. A lot of times they were entrances that were just very narrow. And they were made that way so getting a camel through the eye of a needle, what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? Well, this is it. The eye of the needle is what they called one of their narrow gates. And a camel, generally, if a camel was brought into the city, it was for trade. And the merchant would have the camel loaded up with merchandise. And before they could go through that eye of the needle or that gate, they had to unload everything off of the camel. And they had to leave it sit outside while they took the camel through the gate, and they had to hope that no thief stole it while they were doing that, and then they'd have to go back and carry their wares themselves rather than, since they couldn't get the camel. So who would do that? I mean, who would be going into a city in the middle of the night carrying with a camel full of goods? Well, it would be a rich man, wouldn't it? Well, it wouldn't be anybody up to any good. I don't know. Wouldn't have to be a rich man, but that one's crooked. Jeez, look at that. Well, we'll let him be in shadow. So, that is why, if that person, it comes around, then that's why it's called, that's why they built walls around their cities. They still had stuff outside the cities. Oh, there it is. I just refilled my white. I couldn't find it. Okay. Now, if you remember, Joshua speaking to the Lord at the outside of Jericho. And he told Joshua how they were going to do battle with Jericho. And it's so unconventional, but God did a lot of unconventional things, according to us. We think we have all things figured out. That is our problem. That is man's problem. We think we have it all figured out, and now it should work. And we just discount the fact that God is a miraculous being and quite capable of doing things that we would consider totally impossible. Well, they are possible with God. All things are possible. I mean, he walks up to a paralyzed man next to the River Jordan, where they would go in because the waters would stir and they would think, well, this is it. I can get in here, and if I can be the first one in, then I'll be cured. I don't know how much validity that had to it, but I mean, sometimes the hot springs will make people feel a lot better, or sulfur springs or something. But anyway, the deal is that we should not discount the Bible because it says things that we can't do, or that we can't imagine if we don't want to give credit. So, enough of that. Now, when he met with the Lord, and the Lord said, because he called him Lord, he said that they were to have the priests go ahead of the covenant, and there would be 7 or 8. There'd be the men carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and the ones in front would be blowing ram's horns. And so that's what is going to be happening here. So I will talk to you again tomorrow. And like I said, if I'm not back for a day or two, sometimes maybe like my tooth was really bad. But I don't know. This Christmas season coming up, it's the first one that we haven't had our parents, and this was the one that we would have been able to celebrate with them again. So, because of the COVID, we weren't able to for a couple of years. And we would go down every year and have a Christmas with them, or at least I didn't get to go every time. Sometimes the weather didn't allow it, but anyway, yeah. Pray for me on that. I do miss my folks. It's just been one of those years. And I'm still very happy for them, though. So I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Good night.